from being a Winter Park Toastmaster for 44 years. Recently, the board awarded Roy the title of Honorary Winter Park Toastmasters. You become eligible for this designation after attending over 10,000 meetings and giving over 500 speeches. Please join me in welcoming Honorary Winter Park Toastmaster Roy Scherer with his speech entitled, "Oh, the Memories."
Thank you very much, Mark. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Thank you, Mark, for being able to read that handwritten introduction. I can't find a ribbon for my typewriter. I've looked all over town. Doesn't seem to be available. Mark has asked me if I would keep my talks to 5 minutes. And he's not going to count the time it took to get up here. He said that it's a little too risky if you try 7:30. Doctors recommended 5, and I'll keep to that, I hope. So this talk is mostly intended for newcomers and those of you who have recently joined the club, and those of you who have forgotten anything I might say in the past. We were a men's club when I first joined in 1981. Think back to what you were doing in 1981 and recall that. In any case, we were an all-men's club. We had a lot of the same dress requirements as today. I was invited by a barber named Stan Therese, my first meeting when I was just here moving from Germany, and I was in Stan's barbershop, and he started the conversation by saying, You are married? Are you married? Yes. 2 children? Yes. And what about you, Stan? And he said, well, I was married twice, but regrettably, the wives met with a terrible accident, both. And I said, well, that's horrible. What happened? He said, my first wife loved hunting for mushrooms, and she unfortunately took a poison one and was gone. I said, I think he said that experience. The second one he said also, unfortunately, died accidentally. What happened to her? What happened to her? He said she wouldn't eat the mushrooms. That was desiccation pills. That's not scotch, by the way. So a men's club. Stan never told me. He invited me. He says, why don't you come to the meeting next week? I said, fine. I showed up with polo, slacks, and all the men there were dressed. Jackets, ties, Brook Brothers suits, and so on. Very, very sharp. I said, Stan, why did you tell me this? I thought I would never be voted in. I didn't want to come back, but obviously I did. Carmela would have been very comfortable there, very comfortable in this meeting. So my icebreaker was 40 years and scared to death. Now I'm still 44 years later, scared to death, but of different things. For example, runaway walkers where I live is a problem. So our members were from all wakes of life, as it's true today. We had attorneys, beekeepers, people that ran a funeral business, and a minister. Baptist minister was probably the most memorable in the sense that when he had the prayer and pledge, the prayer would go on for about 15 minutes. He wasn't going to stop until he had 3 conversions. However, he wasn't given another assignment. We put him on the back table. The meetings were just going too quickly. We had some people running for political office 2 or 3 or 4 times.
Several.
Yes, and all sorts of people then. Yeah. I conducted Terry's Ty's political campaign. Didn't win. It was a hoax, by the way. We should have won. We should have won. It was a hoax. We had 4 different locations in the time I've been in the club, if memory serves. It rarely does these days. One I chose in Altamont Springs. And after time went on, the membership became restless. They said, Altamont Springs, this is the Winter Park Toastmasters. So we moved out of there quickly. I found, still my assignment was to find another location. I found it at the tennis club here in Winter Park, where I was a member in the kitchen. We had a nice restaurant there and so on. The only problem was the cook had a drinking problem. There were times when the meal wouldn't come out until 8:30 or 9 o'clock. So we weren't able to stay there very long easy. Now it's fair to say that in the days that I was talking about All Men's Club, it wasn't an all men's club. We had very firm rules, which we still have today, regarding profanity and jokes, especially the off-color ones. I had to give 2/3 of my material away, but I remember Francis Jackson, who after a meeting where I gave a talk, I said, well, what did I say? We had different scheduling times. This was assigned by the Toastmaster. Body language has changed. We have people coming out in front with somersaults and so on. That wasn't true in those days. I'm not finding it good. I couldn't have finished those. Anyhow, 62nd anniversary. Marvelous, marvelous, marvelous time. Friends, members that have been here for a long time. Long time. And it's been a delightful run. I've seen people come from the margins of being so nervous that it was an effort to come forward. And they changed over time. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. Learning the fun way is what this is all about. And it works that way. It does work that way. So, on our 62nd, keep coming. Just one warning. Just one warning. The casserole is marvelous, but be very careful about eating the mushrooms. It's so special. That time went quickly.
Nicely done.